Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
In 1874, Monet and 30 other artists organized their own exhibition. Monet's impression, Sunrise, received the most attention. Painting the Light, the Eternal, Claude Monet, Part 1 of 2. Continue watching to find out more.
Continue making war so you don't have to compete with others in hell for the biggest ever hellfire to be roasted in.
What a beautiful day it is to appreciate God's creation on earth. To express what a beautiful day in French, you can say Quelle belle journée. Beloved viewers, I'm Chantal. With joy, the sincere French people wish you a long, happy, and prosperous life. Art has always been at the forefront of culture, appreciated by many, avoided by few. Accomplished painters like Claude Monet revolutionized the course of art history. Many of these remarkable painters had to scrape out a living in order to entirely devote themselves to their art. Struggling to make ends meet, they still persist, and those who succeed in turning blank canvas sheets into exalted artworks truly deserve the adulation of the world. Claude Monet was a prolific painter in the Impressionist style of painting developed in France during the mid to late 19th century. He was born on November 14, 1840 in Paris, France. The Monet family moved to the coastal town of Le Havre in Normandy when he was 5. Claude's father ran and managed a thriving ship chandeliering and grocery business there. Adolphe had plans to pass his business to Claude someday, but the boy refused persistently. Claude Monet wanted to be an artist, much to his father's dismay. With their father-son relationship somewhat strained, the financial support from Claude's fairly well-to-do family would not be so forthcoming as he set out on his path as a painter. Fortunately, Claude Monet had demonstrated a natural leaning towards artistic expression at an early age, and his decision to pursue art was supported by his mother, Louise Justine Monet, a singer by profession. Equally supportive was his childless, widowed and wealthy aunt, Marie-Jeanne Lecatre, an amateur painter. After his mother's passing, 16-year-old Claude Monet went to live with his aunt. Claude Monet had entered the Le Havre Secondary School of the Arts at the age of 11. By his own admission, he had a rebellious streak and wasn't inclined to stick to rules, even as a child. While attending school 4 hours daily, he was restless and disinterested in all lessons except for art, in which he excelled. The art class was conducted by Jacques-François Hocquart, Monet's first art teacher. Young Monet's caricatures were well-liked and very popular. In 1859, Monet returned to Paris to study painting at the Swiss Academy. His time there was disrupted by conscription into the French army in 1861. When he fell ill with typhoid in Algeria a year later, his aunt brought out his military discharge. Upon his return to Paris, Claude Monet enrolled privately at the Charles Glaire's studio. He became close friends with Pierre-Auguste Renoir, Camille Pissarro, and Jean-Frédéric Bazille, all painters who were an integral part of the Impressionist art movement. Monet's charcoal caricatures of friends were so good, he sold some for 20 francs apiece, hardly enough to make a living, but it was decent pocket money. Monet's local success caught the attention of Eugène Boudin, one of the great seascape painters of the 19th century. By and by, Boudin succeeded in talking the young Monet into coming along with him on his outings. Thus Monet began plein air painting, meaning painting the outdoors, and used oil paints as his medium. One day, Boudin said to Monet, "Learn to draw well and appreciate the sea, the light, the blue sky." Monet added, "I took his advice."
Et Boudin, avec une inépuisable bonté, entreprit mon éducation. Mes yeux, à la longue, s'ouvrirent et je compris vraiment la nature. J'appris en même temps à l'aimer.
The Normandy coast formed the early backdrop for Monet's art education. The sea, its outcrops, and rapidly shifting Norman weather. In the military, Africa fascinated Monet. Its wild terrain and rich foliage were liberating, and colors became his day-long obsession, joy and torment. He also mentioned, "The richness I achieve comes from nature, the source of my inspiration." As fate would have it, Boudin's teacher, Jonkind Johann Barthold, a Dutch landscape painter, completed Monet's professional training where Boudin left off. He explained the whys and wherefores, underlining Monet's work. Claude regarded Jonkind as his true master, stating, "It is to him that I owe the definite training of my eyes." Monet also paid a similar tribute to Eugène Boudin, saying, "If I became a painter, it was thanks to Boudin." Public recognition for Monet's work did not come easily. The Salon, the official art exhibition of the French Academy of Fine Arts in Paris, often rejected Monet's work in his early years as a painter. While he did enjoy some success, it was not enough to adequately meet his needs. He first gained acceptance to the Salon in 1865 with 2 seascape paintings, but he was definitely not a follower of the traditional art schools. Sometimes he was joined by his friends, fellow artists Renoir, Sisley, and Basile on his outdoor painting trips, and together with a handful of colleagues, they helped form the Anonymous Society of Painters, Sculptors, and Engravers. It was when Monet eventually settled in Argenteuil in the early 1870s that his unique Impressionist style of painting truly began to develop. In 1874, Monet and 30 other artists organized their own exhibition in response to their habitual rejection by the famous Salon exhibition. Monet's Impression Sunrise received the most attention and was mocked by art critic Louis Leroy. Leroy wrote the now famous article in which he coined the term Impressionist based on the title of Monet's painting. Even though Leroy had used the word with disdain, the group embraced it, and painters such as Renoir and Degas were exalted to be called Impressionists, and so Impression Sunrise gave its name to the Impressionist movement.
You can't love animals and eat them too. If you care for someone unconditionally, how can you take their lives? Alba Paris, vegan.
Elegant viewers, let's go outside and enjoy the colors of nature in the garden. We'll be right back here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to Painting the Light, the Eternal Claude Monet, Part 1 of 2. Claude Monet met Camille Léonie Dossu, his beautiful model and muse-to-be, in a Paris bookshop in 1865. She was then 18 years old. They fell deeply in love, but money woes began to surface. as Camille became pregnant in 1867, and Monet's family allowance was cut off. A little later in 1868, out of desperation, Monet threw himself into the River Seine, an action which quickly returned him to his senses. This was a low point in his life. But going forth, Monet would forge his way to a great destiny. The family struggled through all manners of hardships, including financial privation and disownment from both Monet's and Camille's families, before they finally married in 1870. Monet rewarded Camille's devotion and love by making her eternal through his paintings. Featured in art galleries and national museums all over the world, the paintings of his beloved Camille include The Woman in the Green Dress, Women in the Garden, Springtime, and Woman with a Parasol, to name just a few. Together, the couple had two sons, Jean in 1867 and Michel in 1878. However, Camille passed away soon at the age of 32, on a September morning in 1879. Camille on her deathbed was painted in the same year and remains a poignant expression on Monet's immense grief. In 1870, Claude Monet had fled France and settled in London, UK for some time. The city appealed to the artist. He was especially intrigued by the smoky fog of the English capital, which created incredible plays of light. He met the Parisian art dealer Paul Durand-Ruel, who was very supportive of his work. Monet also became acquainted with J.M.W. Turner's works in the art galleries there. The following year, in the Dutch city of Zaandam, a city of canals, shipyards, and thousands of windmills, Monet happily produced 24 canvases in just 3 months.
Zaandam est particulièrement remarquable et on y trouve suffisamment d'inspiration pour peindre toute une vie durant. Des maisons de toutes les couleurs, des moulins par centaines et de ravissants bateaux.
With awe and appreciation for the beautiful creations of artists, we look forward to exploring more about the life of the amazing Impressionist painter Claude Monet in the next part of this series.
No to vegan. Only people who abhor sin choose it.
Delightful viewers, thank you for your gracious presence today. Join us again on Sunday, August 7th for part 2 of Painting the Light, the Eternal Claude Monet. Coming up next is vegan chef Nicole Dursevay's Vegan Recipes Part 2 of 2, Vegan Ketogenic Cauliflower Fried Rice, here on Supreme Master Television. May our hearts flourish with compassion and faith evermore.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/MOS.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/MOS.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/MOS.
Nasze programy oferują wiele języków. Prosimy zobaczyć suprememastertv.com/schedule oraz suprememastertv.com/MOS.